Well, no, because I know it is. And it's sad to see that you can't see that.
It's sad to see you can't see it for what it is.
See.
Hi guys, happy Monday and welcome back to Wait, Let Me Finish. Your new favourite background noise.
It's like a voice note that never ends and stays on the internet forever. I'm Zoe.
And I'm Abby. And today we have news for you. Oh my god.
Such exciting
How
news.
do we even open this?
Honestly, it's
I
made
don't
my
know what
whole
we really
2025. If you could have written out what was going to happen in 2025, this would not be on my list.
We should actually do that video that's like, if 2024 December
this would
knew
happen.
what had happened to me now.
Yes.
Guys, we've just
Honestly,
got to come out
if
with
you
it.
could think of the best of the best, it's better
Imagine
than
the best thing that could ever happen to you in your life.
that. We're going to top that
And
right
it happened. So, a few days ago,
My heart.
I can't even get it out. Harry Styles started a conversation with
Styles.
us.
Yeah, let's just pause for a sec. Harry Styles came up to us.
Started a
That's the key bit here.
conversation with
Started
us.
the conversation.
Me and Zoe here. We're outside. We're not going to tell
We're
you
not going to say where.
We're outside doing some work. Well, with
Well,
the laptop open.
we love
and
the
were
aesthetic
chatting.
of the laptops, but really we're just getting a coffee.
We're complaining about how expensive the coffee was, and now I think best coffee
I
I've
would
ever
have
bought in
spent
my life.
£100.
So we're sitting there, Not much of that.
I had
talking.
prime view of
Zoe
people
sees,
coming
prime view of people entering. We're kind of down the side of the coffee shop.
in. We are.
She can see the
I can
access
see.
to the coffee shop here, and she goes,
I go, Harry Styles, Harry Styles. Harry Styles. Do I do that? I think I do that. Harry Styles, Harry Styles, Harry Styles.
and I'm like,
in right now.
frozen. I'm
And
like,
I
is
say
he gone
very
inside?
quickly, very calm.
Very calm.
And I'm thinking, okay,
Panic.
that's kind of going to be it here, you know.
And
he's
I'm
walking
thinking,
in,
oh,
and then he'll
hopefully I
walk
can
out.
get a glance. If not, it's just like, oh, Zoe saw Harry
Yes.
Styles when I was there. So we sat in front of a glass screen into
We
the
know
cafe, and I go,
behind
he's
us.
inside right
There's
now.
what do you
And
call it? Yeah, there's a
Glass,
glass.
glass building.
Glass.
Yeah, it's a fucking window.
Sorry, yeah.
What do you call the glass? The window. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm gonna turn around and try and see him. So I'm like,
Which initially I was a bit like,
No,
annoyed
but whatever.
about because,
But-
privacy and all this. But
yeah.
it
No,
works
I was
out.
just trying to discreetly have a little look. Anyway, I turn around. Oh, direct eye
Oh,
contact
direct contact.
with Harry Styles. So I go straight away. No, there's no sort of playing it off cool. Like, you know, it was like a whip round to the front.
I think, yeah,
See
put
me.
your hands in your face.
I literally like this. Oh no, he's seen me. Forget it. And then we start, the delusion starts straight away. It starts, he was looking to see if we were looking.
Yeah, the delusion already kicked in, but the delusion got a lot worse.
Harry
didn't it?
Styles. The delusion was, there was some
And then
some
do we
grounds.
go straight into talking about him, or are we
So,
talking about something else?
No, we're straight in.
Oh,
Oh
we
my
are?
god. Can you believe
talking about when
you
we
know,
saw him
Harry
at
Styles.
Wembley.
Saw him perform, oh my god, he was so good, like da da da. And I
This
was
was a good few minutes as well, so I actually thought he'd already left because we were in a conversation. I
you know
assumed
what I thought? We were just talking
it's
about
been a
him.
good 5 minutes, I'd say.
I think when he came out, I didn't then think, oh yeah, I've been waiting for him to come out.
No,
I thought
that's what I
maybe
mean,
he'd
I thought
gone.
he'd already
Yeah,
gone.
we were being discreet, you know. We were keeping our eyes
You know.
averted because I was so embarrassed that I caught him. I just wanted him to, you know, go about his day, have his coffee, and not be worried about girls, like staring at him. So I was very embarrassed. Anyway, we were saying, oh my god, yeah, Harry Styles, love him.
And then I've got the prime view.
Got the prime
so
view.
Abby's talking at me, has no idea.
No idea
That he's now
that I'm
come
chatting
round
about
the
Harry
corner.
Styles.
She's talking about him as he's peering closer. It's in my, what do you call it, view?
Peripheral vision. Yep.
But,
Yeah, it's okay, we know.
how do you say it?
Peripheral.
Peripheral vision.
Nailed it.
And he's coming. I stopped speaking, and then I think you clocked, because then you stopped speaking.
I stopped speaking
And
also,
we're now
and
just
we're both
staring at each other. Like this.
No words!
And we're not speaking. We're not looking at him either. Now
Like,
Abby's
I
clocked.
can see.
He's clocked, he's come.
He's here.
Suddenly he's by our table. He is
Literally
still
right there.
by our table.
Can I also add, there's other people outside. There's other
Yeah.
people's outside. Okay. Anyway, pause. Hey. That's basically what I did.
Bro, we're not looking at him, so we have to add every detail.
We're
but,
not
like,
looking at him.
He
So
decided to
he
go,
stopped. Hey.
He
And
kind
we
of like
look
wanted
up.
to get our attention. He was like, hey.
He kind of stopped and then said it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it reacted a bit like how I just reacted.
We turned into schoolgirls. We literally
Oh
looked
my
at him
god.
and we went,
It's like, hey.
literally like that. So high pitched. She goes, went,
Hi. And then I'm doing a lot of this. Head in hands, laughing. Zoe's singing, pull it together. It's Harry Styles. Pull it together. She's so good at playing it cool. She was
too
so
cool.
chill.
Then
Maybe
I
too
gave
cool.
off the wrong
I
vibe.
gave off
So Abby's
extreme
dying with
mega
laughter.
fan.
I'm just kind of like, waiting for him to say something because I am in shock, so I can't think
yes,
of my normal
we're in
social
shock.
etiquette.
Yes,
I'm not.
we're normally good.
We're normally great, and I
We're
was surprised.
confident people.
I was thinking like, Zoe, you say something, but I'm just
something.
looking at him. Well, Abby's laughing,
and he goes, no,
puts out his hand.
Are you okay?
Was that first? Or was
yes?
Oh, that was first.
It got said a few times.
Okay, yeah, it did.
Because I was presenting as not okay. I looked unwell, not okay. Firstly, obviously I'm not okay. You're aware that you're Harry Styles. Very cute. So he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Doing a lot of that with the head in the hands and the, oh my God.
He looks at me, he's like, is she okay?
She all right?
I'm like, yeah, she's fine. I'm like, trying to touch Abby.
And then he goes, oh, what's your name? And we're like, Abby, Sammy. You know, we shook hands. Right hand.
Right hand. Yeah. Great
handshake. So we shook hands with Harry Styles and said our names. I don't know if he retained the names, but you know, at one point in time, he knew who we were by name.
No, I think
maybe. I don't think he's going to carry it with him. But we said our names, and we can't remember. Obviously, it's a little blurry. We can't remember if he said Harry. We can't remember if he said himself. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
I think it was quite.
What are your names?
I think it was quite clear that we knew who he was. But you know, sometimes celebs do that. They're like, "Oh, I'm Harry."
Harry.
You know,
No,
like,
I think he
to be
said,
humble.
what are your names?
I think he just.
But I don't know for sure.
Like, I think and it was like a nice to meet you, and we were like, yeah.
And then
he said,
I can't remember what he said.
He said, "Are you from the area?"
Oh, that was it. No, just say you local.
Yeah, neither of us were local. You know, it's actually the halfway point. The halfway point between my house and Zoe's house. That's why we meet there. Because it's literally, the walkable distance for both of us. Which is incredible. I'm sorry. I can't believe it. Like, on that day, I was like, why didn't we just meet?
I know, that was a great suggestion.
I know.
And even when, I remember when we were answering his questions, like, again, normally we're great at the back and forth. He would ask a question and then we would just go,
one word answer.
Yeah. And we were like, yeah.
It was just a lot of laughing and kind of hitting the table.
I don't want to say where I am.
Yeah, but like, where are you from? I don't know, something. We didn't ask a single question.
No, we didn't.
Which is my main regret.
Yeah,
because he felt very willing to carry on the conversation.
Yeah.
Obviously, he initiated the conversation, and in between all of these, like, this commotion we were having, he was just kind of stood there, like, and then he was like pushing the conversation, like, so, like, where he did, like, he was like,
sorry, the way we talk about it, like, I know he did, but also, like, he was just pushing the conversation.
No, but saying, like, he really was not, well, we weren't asking anything or saying anything, so I feel like he felt like he had to, but I was saying that if we asked questions and stuff, I feel like he would have entertained the conversation a lot longer, but we were just giving him nothing.
I did see you enjoying the sun.
He did. He enjoying the sun.
That was my one line that I could think of last minute.
My one line. I only had one line, but my one line was, I was just telling her, I can't believe I did this, but like also... I
think that pulled it back in a good way. Because you'd been laughing, so then it felt like, oh, I was just telling her, something. Like you then were yourself
I said, I was just telling her about the first time I saw you perform. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, really? Where was that? And I was like, it was like Wembley. And I couldn't even remember how long ago it was. I was like, it's like Wembley, like 4 years ago. And he goes, was I good? You little that. He's cheeky. He's cheeky in real life. Cheeky.
Yeah, I think that was the thing I was most shocked at.
It's a natural thing he's obviously got.
I was so shocked that, considering, right, if you put yourself, well, you can't really relate at all.
You cannot.
But if you try and put yourself in his shoes, like, to be constantly stared at and, like, I would be so paranoid, but for him to still have that confidence and that, like, cheeky, that
charisma around it.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's what shocked me, because it's like...
Sorry.
I don't know, I just can imagine being him, you're constantly on edge, but he felt very relaxed.
So relaxed.
So chill with his coffee,
there,
like...
Iced latte in hand.
Yeah, very calm persona.
Very chill, just like, all right. And then he kept being like, are you all right? Like, so humble.
He was laughing at you, but like, how nice.
He was like, oh, you
like, you made him smile.
But like, because he was obviously like, this girl is overwhelmed, like, by my presence. And like, of course he's confident when we literally just sat there like crumbling in front of him. And then
I think it got to the point where it was like, well, we thought after maybe he was waiting for us to ask for a photo. And that's why... There was
on reflection, there was a lot of pausing when we were like, I was just dying, and Zoe was like, oh, happy, you know.
And I think he was maybe waiting.
And I think he was, probably waiting to be like, for us to say, can we have a photo?
Yeah,
which I did consider at the time, but then I thought,
oh, I didn't.
Oh, I did. It came into my head like, this is probably your moment, but then I was like, no, like live it. really take this in.
I'm so happy we didn't.
I'm so happy we didn't.
I'm surprised I'm saying that, but
no, me too. But
it feels so nice to have had that memory and it be
really
so real.
Personal, like it was and I can like relive it in my head. Like I'm not gonna forget that. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, of course I met Harry Styles when I see the picture. Like no, like and it was just so nice. And then he obviously realizes like they're not gonna say anything, so he's like going to leave, and then he goes.
It's like 2 steps.
So he's actually walked down the side of the cafe where we're sat. And the exit obviously was that other side. So he's walked down here to, initiate the conversation. And then he goes, oh, I'm actually going that way. Like he'd walked to talk to us. But did you make a mistake? Or did
we can be delusional, but he actually did come to talk to us.
I guess.
He did. But I think it's just a nice thing because he saw you looking and then he was like, okay, I'll go
we unpacked how it was very uncool of me to look through the glass.
No, but also I wouldn't have had that conversation.
Maybe that is the reason. That's what I mean. At
the time I was like, oh, Abby, why did you have to do that? But then I owe my life to Abby. Because he probably
crazy. Well, I think it was very clear that we were fans, and then maybe that was why. And that was why we came to us, and there was a girl on her own side of the table next to us, furiously, silently texting.
So jealous. Yeah, after frantically texting.
You'll never guess what, I can imagine.
I'm surprised she didn't speak to us though. Fia couldn't believe that. She was like, oh, she didn't address the fact she just met him.
No, one of the baristas did, kind of. She was like, you having a good day? So it was like, I'm having the best day of my life.
I'm having a really good mood.
Cool that she had when Harry was there. When?
But it's weird, we were saying after it happened how you don't know how you're going to react until you meet someone that famous.
I've never been starstruck before in my life.
That's the most
and I feel like we've met a fair few celebrities.
That's what I'm saying. He is
Dua Lipa.
Probably one of the only people on the planet that I would get that reaction from.
Exactly.
He's the
only person I've ever had that
in shock.
Dumbfound, do not know what to say.
Because I can think of people we've met, whether it's out or whatever, that are really famous, and I don't feel a lot. I'm I'm just having
I can have a conversation.
And I was like,
wow, this is amazing, but
not the same.
I don't feel like I literally cannot get a physical word out of my mouth.
Yeah, same. Crazy.
But guys,
it's my whole year.
I know everyone wanted the story time over on the TikTok, so here's your story time.
Do we want to do our hear me outs? Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Hear me out.
I'm excited. I love these.
Hear me out. It's not difficult to make friends in your 20s.
Wow. She loves the controversial one.
I do. The difficult bit is not making friends. It's the self-confidence you have to put yourself out there.
Right.
Let that soak in.
Yeah, it's soaking.
The issue is not with the making of the friends. It's the self issue of we're holding ourselves back, being like, oh, but they might not think I'm cool. Or you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. If you're literally going to be like, I'm going to go.
What can you, with that statement, what can be your solution?
I mean,
because I think to say something like that, you need almost
how do we fix it?
Not even fix it, but how can you work on it to... Everyone wants to make more friends.
Well, this is the thing.
Tips and tricks.
I don't...
Someone that's great at making friends.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm generally quite a friendly person.
Yeah.
But that's also not easy to be, so friendly.
Confident.
But I don't think I find it easy. I still get quite self-confident.
Yeah, of course. But I think, okay, so for example, if you're in... what's quite relatable to people? Well, a sports club or something.
Exactly.
And you want to...
So going somewhere like that, going to a run club, or going to I don't know, a craft thing, or one of these in-person meet-up events in London, to just get yourself from A to B. Everyone there. Say if it's one of these make new friends events, they exist. Everyone there has the intention of making friends with you. That's not the hard bit. It's it's putting yourself out there in a really uncomfortable position to go to something like that on your own. You're overthinking probably. You're feeling self-conscious, you don't know anyone, and you know that you have this, end goal of making friends there or whatever. That's the hard bit. Everyone there wants to make friends with you.
But do you know what I think? Because I was picturing myself in that situation. I think I find it easier to do the initial what's your name, whatever. But the thing that scares me is the weird small talk and how to
not feeling completely comfortable with people.
Yeah, and I hate any form of awkwardness. So the reason, like, I'm not necessarily scared to go up to someone, but I am scared for then, like, if the conversation goes dry or if it's a bit awkward, that's what, like, fills me with dread, not the initial.
But that's, again, like a you know, a self-assurance, self-confidence thing of, like, can you carry a conversation that's one-sided? Or does it even, or what's the problem if it is, you know, it doesn't go well?
Yeah, it's
to walk away from it and be like, yeah, like I tried that.
It's like rejection therapy.
Yeah.
Like with asking guys out, similar thing.
Exactly.
It's fine if they have a girlfriend or whatever, but that is the bit I can go over to them. But it's the awkwardness of then continuing to like ask for their number or like
that's fine.
to ask them out. That's the bit rather than the confidence to go up to them. You know?
Yeah, but it's like with making friends and stuff, it's such a common theme. Like so many people, like girls in their 20s, want to make friends.
And it's so interesting. I actually listened to a podcast on how statistically people in smaller areas, like smaller towns, find it way easier to meet people, like whether it's like partners, relationships, or friends, even though there's way less people. It's because people are more connected.
Right.
And in a city, people are way more lonely and isolated, even though there's so many more people, which is so interesting. But I can believe that.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like everyone is like so on their own kind of, not path, but there is this feeling that people aren't, it's like the neighbour thing. When you're in a small village, you probably trust your neighbour, you probably speak to them a lot, and there's that connection.
To your house.
Whereas in
you
London,
know them.
no one speaks to their neighbours. Which is crazy because it's like you live next to them and you just don't speak to them. I'm in the same building as all these people.
Yeah, same.
I see them, you don't speak.
No.
How sad.
Quite.
And I think that's the thing in like the cities that can make you feel more lonely because you see so many people every day.
Oh my God. And you
walk outside your door and it's like groups of people.
But you just feel like everyone is like, I don't know, we had this when we first moved to London maybe, and obviously we moved like with friends, so it wasn't as big like a thing, but I do remember like going to the park and we'd sit in the park and no, that sounds really sad, but it's like reality.
I remember like it was yesterday and we literally would go to the park, have these conversations and be like, okay, there's a club going on over there.
We're going to see people.
We would sit on the bench and just observe and hope that someone would come up.
I know, because we were so like, I mean, we were young as well. We were so like just, I don't know what was holding us back, I guess. Like, I'm not sure now, but...
I guess it is confidence in a way. And then also sometimes I think if you do have, say, just one friend or like a few good friends, being grateful for that. Because back then, this is like 4 years ago, that was the turning thing for us because we were seeking like more friends to have these big groups.
Yeah.
And then we started to realise like, wait, we've actually got really genuine, nice friends.
Yeah.
Why aren't we appreciating what we have?
Like, as if we were sat there together, like, I need someone else.
Yeah, we literally were together
like,
thinking, we need to find someone.
Not to be cringe, because we don't like doing this, but, like, we have the most incredible relationship.
Yeah.
Like, we've been best friends for, like, 10 years now. Mm-hmm. Like, that alone as a statement is so, like, rare. And then to have someone who gets you so well and, like,
you can
you're
be yourself
so,
with.
like, the most pure version of yourself, like, the most you ever. And
I think I always underestimated how rare that is. I thought everyone had that.
Exactly.
And
that's
now I'm like,
in itself.
the
fact that we sat there on the bed, like, we need someone else. Like, even if we didn't have like incredible friends.
I don't know what I thought. It was probably more.
It was the social element because it
social
was,
thing
it was
and a pressure of moving to London.
Yeah.
I think for me especially, like I had always dreamed of my life in London and like I would picture moving to London, meeting new people, like maybe like find some cool friends. Like it was this whole like unrealistic
having like a big group, we all go out and party.
Thing that I had. You know? And it's like, no, that's not actually what I wanted. I thought I wanted that.
But also, how crazy that we do have that now. We do have like huge groups of friends that we like can go on these big like
true.
You know, like just the other night, you know? Do you know what
true,
I mean?
Actually.
It's just you fall into it.
And naturally.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy
the way
really,
it all happens.
how it all works out.
But I have some people that I've met through my job, which will be no longer in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm at crunch time now. There's some people who I've met through there that I know that we get on. I know that we vibe. I now need to like either like transition it away from that.
That's
or
the hard bit.
Kiss it goodbye because it is the hard bit. And I was the one that said, can I get your Instagram? Like, what's your Instagram? So I thought that was like, and the girl actually was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to ask you, but I didn't, I was too like shy.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God.
A lot of the time people want to, but it's
Exactly.
the confidence to say it.
And we'll like message a little bit about like what we're wearing and stuff to go when I go.
Oh, that's cute.
And like every time I see her, I'm like, give her a hug, I'm like, oh my God, hi. But it's just like, we need that next thing, which is the bit that scares me.
Yeah, because at work, you're always going to see them.
Yeah.
And then it transitions into like, you need to plan to meet for coffee or...
Yeah, this is the hard thing for me, was like that next bit, and like how we've had very obviously limited conversations because of the kind of work that I do. The dynamic that we have, yeah, it's very small conversations. And I know that we get on well during that time, but then it's like, what would we actually be like? Just, like, we don't know really anything about each other's lives. I actually met her mum, and she's also so cute. She came.
Really?
Yeah, and she was the same.
About.
I'll cut it out, but do you know? I don't know. It's like that would be maybe such a nice relationship. I'm just scared.
I also think it's really nice to like. I don't know if this sounds weird, but to pick up a friend from like each stage of life.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it's like, oh, we're
look
friends
back
from
on the
back
last
then.
like 4 or 5 years from being in London.
You love doing
kind
this.
of like I'll
Yeah.
kind of make friends in a workplace or whatever, and then I tend to pick one. I don't know if that sounds really bad, but not pick one because it happens naturally. I'm not there
Right,
like
it's not you.
I'm not choosing.
You are the one I take forward.
I've found a pattern in myself.
Yeah, I've noticed
that I tend to, because it's quite hard to like keep relationships with everyone you've met.
You gravitate to like one-on-one connections anyway in those kind of circumstances where it's not like you're meeting another group. It's like we're at work, so we're forming one-on-one kind of things. It's not like then I invite everyone. You just have
that one person you maybe gravitate
that you kind
towards
of click
more.
with.
You feel more yourself. That's my biggest thing.
Feeling like yourself.
If I feel just really comfortable like myself, then I'll want to spend more time with you.
Okay, what's your hear me out? I'll hear you out.
So my hear me out.
Sorry, I just think it's really funny how we're trying to make this segment title work. I'll hear you out.
I'll hear you out for
like, trying to make it sound natural when it's
like
kind
it,
of... Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep it.
So
I'll hear you out.
My hear me out is, I think today I was caught up in some sort of FBI situation.
I can't believe you've not told me this yet. We do save things to talk about on here, but...
I wanted to save it. Yes.
You were caught up at... What? Okay,
yes.
any more?
So basically that stressed me
It's
out.
empty. So
Okay,
don't worry about
Abby has a habit of,
I'm clumsy, all right? I'm clumsy.
It's funny to me because you
I
seem like the least clumsy person ever, but
you know what?
she's
My
so
parents
clumsy.
always say this, like, I'm not graceful isn't the right word. They
No,
used
but
to
you
say
present
graceful
very
because
put
I did
together.
ballet and like, just so like, yeah, and just like...
On top of things.
You know, can be chaotic, but generally pretty like...
No, yeah, for sure. That's why it's funny.
And then suddenly I'll just
you are
smash
clumsy.
something.
Yeah.
But like often.
I think you think
like,
I would be more like
really
that, but
often.
I'm not.
Yeah, because I think it's actually like a problem.
Oh, really?
So I either think I have dyspraxia, undiagnosed dyspraxia, or which is like dyslexia of the body, I guess, like kind of, or it's to do with my autoimmune condition. It can be.
You think?
Yeah. So it's the link between my autoimmune condition and hypermobility, and because I'm hypermobile, I don't have a very good perception of how my body moves because it's not like a normal,
I never
within
thought
a
it was
normal
that.
range. This is just what the doctors have told me, but it could just be I'm clumsy. So
Yeah. I thought it was
be a
to do with,
reason.
yeah.
Because I'm so unaware, like
Facially.
around like of my surroundings. This is why I get scared when I drive. When I was learning to drive, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how close I am to the next car.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, that's
I'm
going numb.
FBI.
yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Very important.
So me and my sister went to this new cafe that's just opened in Marylebone.
Which one?
And it's called Avo Bar. It's on the corner.
I did see you on the story, I think, with you.
Yeah, this is today though.
Oh, right.
This is this morning.
God, fresh.
And we sit outside just having a conversation, and I see this man with a Daunt Books guy, and I was telling you before how we had this theory at the minute that we keep seeing these men with like one book in their hand or Daunt Books bag,
Like a
whatever.
tote
It's just
bag.
like an aesthetic. So I was telling
Oh, I
Fia
heard
this
you guys
story.
joke about that the other day, tote bag man.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was telling Fia, and I was like, oh, there's one of them.
A tote bag guy.
Anyway, we noticed he like walked past, walked back, and he was just acting a bit suspicious.
Right,
So
so
we
you clocked
clocked him. We thought, what's going on there? Then he stands against a wall, and he's talking to himself. I'm like,
Oh my
why is
God.
he talking talking to
I
himself.
bet you guys were loving this.
And at this point, we're just a bit like, okay, is he on the phone? Maybe he's just got AirPods in, whatever. And he kept looking, what we thought at the time was at us.
Right.
And I was like, oh, is it because I've pointed out the Daunt Butts bag and I was overthinking it? And he kept looking at us and we started to get a bit freaked out. We're like, why does he keep looking at us? Anyway, then Fia clocked, my sister, that he was actually looking at the girl that was sat in the coffee shop by the, you know when you can sit on a bar seat that like looks out?
Like through the window.
Yes.
God.
He was actually looking
got
out
it.
and she was on the other end speaking
Of the call.
Wow. And Fia could see her more than I could, so I was saying like, what's going on?
Oh my God.
She looked so scared, so stressed. Then we clock another one now with a North Face bag, and at first we were again saying like, he just was,
random.
You can just tell we obviously know this area well, so I can just pick out people that aren't looking like normal. They've tried to dress them in like a cap, like a bag.
Like undercover police like outfit.
Same black little dot in their ear. They all had this black dot. And at this point, the girl is getting really stressed. And then we start to think like, oh God, we're kind of in the middle of this thing here.
We're in the firing line.
And we decide to leave. So we walk and we leave.
You decide to leave?
Well, yeah, because this goes on for about 20 minutes.
Oh.
So it's a long time. But as we leave, we walk down Chiltern Street. We clock, I'm not joking, about 4 or 5 more of these men with earpieces in, like as if something big was about to happen.
Did you get scared?
Well, no, because it's like obviously so much security around. But we were just coming up with all these theories, put it into ChatGPT. Apparently, it's like when you want to, I can't remember the name, but ChatGPT said that it happens maybe when you're trying to catch someone that's a criminal in like an open space, but maybe like a really like not white collar, but you know, when it's like someone that doesn't necessarily know they're going to be captured or they're going to be. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's not like a sort of arrest where you're like a dodgy criminal and you're always on the run. It's almost such a high-ranking criminal that's really high up.
Right.
Maybe like a fraud thing. I don't know. It just seemed like they were trying to. This girl was going to be the.
Really?
What's the word? I can't think of any of these words.
Contact.
Yeah, kind of like the. I don't know the word. Yeah, but like undercover kind of vibe. Like she, and that's why she was so scared.
Really?
That was our theory.
She was scared.
But it's just crazy
maybe
because
she was like the lead. Like maybe she knows the guy or whoever it is
they've been following this
and then they've been like, you need to
journey.
help us.
But it must have been something big because to have that many FBI people around, like they were on every corner.
No.
And you knew who they were because they'd stand on the corner, they'd always be looking, they'd be speaking under their breath, but they've all got different bags on. It's like whoever their stylist was like, okay, we need to cover all the brands. One had like a bit of like, he looked like a hiker almost. And I'm like, you don't get hikers in Marylebone.
It's a bit like, you know how they say like undercover police always wear like super dry. Like it's so bizarre.
No, literally. What was so funny is like, we loved that we were the only ones that had clocked onto this because obviously it's a busy street. Everyone's walking past thinking, oh yeah, it's just all these men on the road.
Because unless you saw that initial guy, you wouldn't
it's so interesting, like knowing. It was like we were involved. It was like, yeah, we know what's going on. Anyway, fascinating.
I would have been really
felt like
scared.
I was in a film. Really?
I think there's a terrorist attack gonna happen.
We did say that.
Because I worry
say
in
something
London,
big
in
about to
central
happen.
London, yeah.
But yeah, really, really interesting. And it's one of those things that you see it in the films, but to see it in real life.
I would love to keep some tabs on the news. Or like,
yeah, we said this.
If
we
there's
need to see if anything happens.
comes about from it. That's really cool.
We tried to get a picture of the girl because initially my theory was that maybe she's like super, super wealthy, part of like an embassy family or like royal family. She's like a daughter that has like loads of security guards. I think it was something
Surely
bigger
they
than
wouldn't
that.
be so away from her.
And that many. When I saw one, I thought maybe, but then when we started seeing more.
And also they'd be quite close by, like to her.
Yeah.
They'd be in the coffee shop with her.
Yeah, they wouldn't be from across the street.
No. And they probably wouldn't be on like a call anyway.
Such a good job to have.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I met a bodyguard once doing a job.
Wow.
Oh. So when I worked random odd job I did, like a reception at a Bulgari hotel for like events, but there was a bodyguard there, random.
Bulgari
it was
hotel.
literally nothing. And he was telling me some really cool stories.
Yeah, I find it so fascinating.
I was like, do you get scared? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, pretty cool. Like James Bond, like wow. But yeah, like I'm not for me, obviously. Like I'm like a mouse. I'm scared of everything.
And I just wanted to know things like, does your family know what your job is? Because obviously in the films a lot of the time,
Oh my God.
they can't tell anyone what their job is.
What would you do if like it came out, like I confided in you, like my actual job is that I'm like a spy?
Well, I wouldn't believe you.
Why?
I just wouldn't.
Because I spend so much time editing YouTube videos. When would you have time for spying?
But
what if
say
it was
if it
like
was-
you and my target? Right. What if it was
This
like
whole time?
yeah, and like I told you because I've become like so attached to you and like love you so much as a friend, and I'm like, I need you to know, and there's something bad that's gonna happen, and I'm like know about it, and I'm supposed to like be the one that like does like gets you
my
somewhere,
God.
do something. I'm like,
I don't even know
we need to
what
get
I
you
would
out.
do.
Drama. That's such a good
Oh my
premise for a
God, we need
movie,
to escape.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But like with girls.
Wait, that's such a
Growing
good
up,
movie idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's like you
is.
grow up your whole life and you don't
like
realise
your
that
best
you've
friend
been...
you trust. Oh,
Wow.
wow. Like a target for like say like a really like yeah like an
You've been-
like a
I've been lied
a
to my whole life
president's
about who,
daughter or
whose
someone
family
like
I'm a
and
part
that
of.
they're gonna like I don't know
I'm
and they're
afraid
gonna
to,
like you know hold you for ransom, you know, with like a president or like a
Yeah.
and it's gonna be this whole like
Wait, why would I kind of love that?
no because you're just attention obsessed.
Yeah.
But like cool.
Really cool.
But I would be like, no, you have to like forgive me. You wouldn't.
I would.
You forgive me?
Well, because I think I would, because nothing really changes.
Really?
Well, I feel like you can't act for that long. So I believe that the connection's still
I'm the
real.
best in the game. That's why they gave me the job. On a break.
Okay. No, Abby. Oh, I hate how I just said that. Abby.
My
What are you
eyes feel
doing?
strained.
Oh, it's the light. It's the sun.
It's not the light. It might be. There's
I think it
three
is, 'cause
lights on
it's
us.
really blinding.
It's supposed to feel quite
The sun.
informal.
Yeah,
like,
see, because when I do that, it's a bit like when you have a headache and then
bit of a migraine,
and then it
maybe.
dims it. Same. I'm telling you, it's strong. You thought it was
I
really
know it's
romantic.
strong. That's why it's
really
here.
strong. Just put our sunglasses on.
Guys, we're having some trouble with the lighting setup in the
No,
studio right
guys,
now.
Every time I've come to film here, another light has been added.
Yeah, because it's a
Started with
professional
one,
setup.
Then two, now we've got three, and the third one is
It's
honestly
giving
stronger
me a
than the sun.
migraine. Maybe that's what's bothering my eye.
Because it's like coming from... Anyway, should we distract and go in with a dilemma? What was the dilemma?
we were gonna talk about work or something. Boring.
Oh, God. That
Boring.
deep chat just doesn't feel relevant right
No,
now.
I'm feeling silly.
What was it? I'm feeling a bit naughty.
I want to do another movie thing. And then
were
also
gonna
something about
talk about-
religion. I can't do religion right now.
I can't go on to religion.
It's very spirituality.
No, we could talk about... No.
That light is me up. I can't talk about religions, but
You don't have to talk about religion. No one's forcing you.
what that was our whole
No,
thing.
we were
going
going to also talk about happiness when it comes to doing your passion. Or do you go in make... How did that happen?
You made me laugh. I need to get a towel.
Oh my God! That escalated so quick. Oh, see, guys, she's very clumsy.
It's not. That wasn't clumsiness. That was. I've got a terrible sense of humour, and
Oh, Abby.
I find you really funny.
I didn't even say anything.
Did you not?
I don't think so.
Rewind. Let's play that one more time.
This has been flopping all over the place.
I honestly think we're a bit delirious.
Yeah, I
today,
think we
guys.
are. We had too much
We've got
caffeine.
a
Maybe
lot
that's
of light
it.
on us.
Wait, you didn't need to dab a pocket.
Oh, where am I? I need to see it in the mirror.
There was just like a droplet on your cheek.
Growing up, Zoe was like so convinced she was in the Truman Show, and it was like the whole world was about her, and she'd try and like catch people out as actors, but
Yeah, but I think that's quite normal for
Maybe.
kids. Also, back a few podcasts, I did some research on what we were talking about.
Okay, we need to give some context. 2 podcasts ago, 2 episodes ago, we spoke about if you can see images when you close your eyes, if you're seeing anything there, or if it's just black and you're using your imagination. And the same thing about if you can hear, you know, your own monologue in your head.
Exact percentages for you. I did research.
Really?
I did.
Wow.
One of them is like kind of what I thought. So firstly the inner monologue one, where you actually hear yourself speaking, it's an actual voice, is 40 to 50% people have it.
Right.
So that I'm like, okay, fair.
Okay.
Still, actually, I thought it'd be more people have the voice. Interestingly, the eyes shut one, 4% of people have what you have. It's very rare.
Really?
Everyone can see, most people can see colour, pictures,
It's so
really see the full thing.
Really?
And 4%,
4%?
it's got a name, it's like an actual thing.
Oh, like
it's
a
called
problem.
Like Anaria or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, wow. Crazy. Yeah.
Mind blown. Shame, really.
Yeah, I do
did
feel
say
bad
this before.
for you.
It's a sad one because it's like, oh wow, it feels like you have a lot more going on. It seems a bit more fun.
Yeah, but I think you still get that from dreams, I guess.
Yeah, you tried to say that last time. It doesn't make sense. It's not the same.
I know. It is quite sad. It's just crazy that, yeah.
It's wild that I'm as
like.
distracted as I am, considering I don't hear anything, I don't see anything. I'm still very distracted with all my thoughts. So guys, it's that time of the week again. Zoe's favourite part of the podcast. What did you say? It's the no context call.
It's the no context call.
Who's there? I try and call Lily pretty much every week.
Third time's a charm.
She never picks up, but that's okay. Lily babes, this is your moment. Unavailable.
Damn.
Unavailable. Who are we going to call?
Take a picture so she knows.
Should we go Annie and call?
Yeah.
Annie!
Hi.
Hello.
You're live on Wait, Let Me Finish. How soon is too soon to move in with a partner?
Oh. Well, I don't think it's as easy as just the number.
Okay.
What?
No, that's good.
Oh, did you want?
No,
it's
because
something faster.
No, it's good. It's because everyone has never given us a simple answer. It's always like.
Oh.
No, but that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Well, I think before 6 months is too soon. I think anything before 6 months, you don't know the person. I don't know. 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Would be my time frame.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you. That's great.
Thank you for that. Love you. Bye. Aw, we love
That
Annie.
was lovely. The end of another episode, hey?
An end of an era. You won't see me for a while.
No, they won't. It'll be normal for them.
Oh, yeah.
Zoe's gone on holiday.
Next time you see me, I'll hopefully be very tanned.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be so jealous.
Just remember to give us a like.
Like and subscribe. There'll be new podcast episodes every other Monday.
Bi-weekly.
And a new video from me every Wednesday. So, stick around. So we close the part.
Check my new nails.
Show them. Lovely.
Fishies.
Abby goes apart. Enter. Cute.
I'm overthinking it. No. Boring. Next. Well, no, because I know it is. It's sad to see that you can't see that.
Sad to see you can't see it for what it is.
can't see
I'm so excited. That was such a mess of an episode.
All the legs.
I'll just keep dropping it.